years.
They originated replacing you.
We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. I've asked Councilman Shears to lead us in prayer and pledge. Please rise.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer to thank you for another day. And Lord, we know every moment is a gift from you that is undeserved. And I pray that we would have wisdom and discernment and ultimately do what honors you in handling the business of the city, knowing that it is a great responsibility that you have implemented among men, that, Lord, that role of government. And God, I pray these things in the name of our Savior Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can we have roll call, please?
Lamar,
Here.
Shropshire,
Here.
Bradshaw, Shears,
Here.
Brown, Trammell,
Here.
Gantier, Smith,
Here. All right. I have one petition from the audience that I'm aware of. Marshall? Do you need the timer? Yeah, you want the timer?
Guess I could talk as long as I want. If there's no timer.
You got 5 minutes. Go for it.
No, I just wanted to let you know that the other day I was going to the fairgrounds to do some quilting. And I got on the road, it was right after the road was fixed. And I was enjoying that road so much that I passed the fairgrounds and just kept on going. And but the whole time I'm driving, I thought, I've been driving for over 50 years. I don't remember when that road was any different than what it was. It always was like that. It's always bad. And the whole time I'm thinking, this road to me represents what Pryor is doing right now. It takes a long time for some things to happen. There are too many people out there right now expecting, because you as the city said we're going to do this or do that or whatever, and they think it's going to happen tomorrow. It's not. There are just too many things that can get in the way. And if people would just drive that road and look at that road and think, you know what? Something did come to pass, and it's a good thing. Even if those lines had never got drawn, I could drive that road all day long. I'll just go back and forth all day. But I just wanted to know, to me, it represents Pryor. We're going forward, and there's just too many things that people don't see in the background. There's things that happen because they just hear the one sentence or two that we're going to do this, but they expect it tomorrow. You guys you've been here just for a couple of years. There's things that were in the place that you guys are wanting to come to pass, and there's new things. And I just wanted to let you know, to me, that road and my feelings on that road just is how I feel about Pryor, that we are going forward. And that's all I want to say.
Thank you very much. All right. I have the report from the building inspector. Says Craig and I did 65 inspections for July, 26 additional inspections with contractors, or James and Cody with MUB about addressing issues that came up in the community. Worked with Trim Humphreys on the issues that he had with houses for abatement and attended the July abatement meeting. Reviewed plans on remodels for homes. Several homeowners, contractors called, came into the office needing info about codes, additions, services. Attended a free wall bracing class in Tulsa on July 29th for CIB and ICC CEUs. There you go. Johnny Jensen, Emergency Management. Jew, sorry.
I can hear.
I'm sorry. Are these on? Are we on?
Yep.
We're good.
I just wanted to give you guys an update on FEMA disaster funding. Since I've been doing this 18 years, it's always been pretty much the same. The county has to meet a threshold, the state has to meet a threshold. The county's is 183,000 and the state's is like 7.5 million. If you ever get over that threshold, you send it to FEMA, they sign off on it, we get disaster funding. That's not the way it is anymore. The laws hasn't changed, the rules haven't changed, but in the past, it's always been pretty much a guaranteed thing, even though it wasn't designed to be. That's supposed to be the thresholds that are met before you can apply for it. the presidents have always in the past just signed off on it. Well, the new one's not doing that. So I'm not saying he's right or wrong in what he's doing, I'm just wanting you guys to be aware that if we have disaster, the expectation of always having FEMA there to fund it is probably not gonna be the case in the near future anyway. So, I'm not saying they're not gonna pay for anything, but the ones that are smaller, the president feels like the cities, the counties, and the state need to do more to cover the cost of that instead of relying on the federal government. So, just be aware.
Awesome. Tell them I said thank you.
I'll do that.
All right, Chief Young.
We're just getting ready. It's gonna be kind of coming on a busy season with us. With school starting back up, I know this week the guys are touring the new facilities out there with the schools and everything, making sure that they know where the hazards are with construction that'll currently be going during the school year, and if anything was moved, if they're buttoned up, but they're just doing walkthroughs, make sure they're familiar with that area. We're getting ready to start doing some tabletops out with the folks at Rocklahoma and stuff like that, just because that's a big crowd that comes in, so it's not only just that week, we start, you know, months ahead of time just to make sure, because there is a ton of people that come, so we'll start doing some tabletops and running scenarios just so everybody's on board and we've got a good idea what's going to be going on in our area. But that's pretty much what we're doing right now. Y'all have anything for us?
Yes, BK, I do.
Yes, sir.
Since you brought that up about tabletops out there at Rocklahoma, is it on your radar too about the contract for our services provided?
Yes, and we've got that, I believe.
Yep. So we're going back and forth with them. The request was to come down on the price that we set last year. And I told them we were not willing to come down on that price. And they needed to take that back, and they have not gotten back with other than please. So when they come back with something, and I have no ill towards them, I wish them no ill, but, you know, the Danny Weimer situation last year with that production company, cost them a lot of ticket sales this year. And their ticket sales are down, their revenues are not looking like they're gonna be like they have historically. But the service we provide is a premium service, and we wanna make sure that they
And
understand
like the mayor, we were talking about that the other day, and the financing on the price, that's of course up to you all on that, but there's also a lot that goes inside city limits when that is going on. The PD sees a bunch of stuff, not only them, I'm sure the street department, you know, by the time they're trying to do stuff and you get the traffic, there's a lot of stuff that we just think it's all out there, but it's not contained to that one place. We got a lot of people, extra people staying in the hotels and wherever they can. So there is it's a big process for the city as a whole, and it's not just us as the fire department, but that's one way we do recoup some of that. But that'll come up to you on the price thing. I always want more.
we're at 84, I think, 8,400 is what we set last year as our price.
And we've been doing that for 20-some years before I got on the fire department, and we've been it's not like we go up every year, and costs for us, you all know as well as everybody, costs have gone up, and, you know, even if it's just going out there and we blow a tire on one of those big trucks, they're not cheap. And, so, like I said, I think we're pretty fair on the price, but that's something for you all to go, and the back and forth. I'll just tell you what I can supply with the trucks and our manpower, but now the talks are being going, but we do need to get ahead of that, because
Yeah, and they also know that they've got to get an updated contract. So the one that was presented still had last year's, it had Danny Weimer's on there. It had, the dates were not up to date, so waiting on them.
yeah. But I can reach out, or have the mayor, if he's okay with it, I can reach out and see if we're anywhere, if you're already in discussion.
Yeah,
with
we're
him.
in it, so.
Okay,
Thank you.
yes, sir. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Dennis Bowman? Is he out there? Carrie? Yes, Carrie.
So Autumn Courtney is actually gonna do our department, report today, but she's gonna tell you about all the things we did in the library. I want to tell you that what she and her staff have done has impacted library in an economic sense. I talked to some of the businesses that we partnered with on our passport program today, who confirmed that having their businesses on the passport increased their foot traffic, and was good for business overall. And then I got an email from Ricky Mullins at Etch and Burn Vendor Vault, and he gave me permission to read it to you. So it says, at Etch and Burn, the Pryor Public Library Passport Program has brought us more new and returning customers than any other local initiative in the past 2 years. It drives foot traffic, builds customer loyalty, and keeps people shopping locally. Through the program, we've been able to showcase our technology, connect visitors with dozens of local makers, and create memorable experiences, from kids playing in our glow-in-the-dark room to families ordering custom school gear. The result? Increased sales, repeat business, and stronger community connections. This program doesn't just support local businesses, it builds relationships, tells our town's story, and keeps dollars in Pryor. So now I will let Autumn tell you what she did to make all of that happen.
So as Carrie said, I am Autumn Courtney. I am the Youth Services Librarian, so I do everything 0 to 18. This summer, we had quite a good turnout. I gave you all a pamphlet and a passport in case you guys haven't seen our passports. This year, I'm just going to kind of go over the overview. There's a lot of stats inside this because I personally really liked gathering them. We had over 2,818 patrons participate in our program throughout June and July. We had 500 registered, so that is from babies all the way to adults. We had 51 total youth programs / events from June 1st until July 31st. We had a great kickoff event. That was the first time we've ever done anything like that since I've been here. We had 620 people there, along with 40 community booths were there. We had an Indian celebration. We had 347 there. 453 people came to the Family Fun in the Sun event that the health department put on, and we had a booth there. Our cost overall was $4,789.35, but for our actual programs we did, we only spent about $2,789.35. Our $2,000 we got support from our friends group, and that we just used for our prizes. So we did not use that for supplies. So that is where we got the average cost per program was $56, which is down from $87 last year. This year we had the best participation as far as kids turning in reading and activity logs. We gave away over 3,000 small prizes through that. We ran out of prizes actually at the beginning of July. We had to actually get more, and that's the first time we've ever done that since I've been here. And we logged approximately 6,840 hours of reading for 0 to 18. That's reading, parents reading to the kids just listening, which I thought was a great number for summer reading. We did 9 stamp locations this year. We added 3 from last year. It was another great turnout for the passports. We also had 2 Cherokee Youth participants that worked for us for all of June and part of July, and 1 intern from RSU did a class with us. I guess ultimately, do you guys want me to go into any more detail on any of the things? Do you have questions for me? Need further clarification? This just has a lot more information in it.
Autumn, you did a great job.
That was great.
Fabulous job.
Thank you. We had a good time, and next year's theme is dinosaurs, which I'm hoping will be bigger and better than ever. And we're going to have our kickoff event again, so if you have any community organizations that you feel like should be involved, let me know. I would love to add more people. With that event, some of our best sections, in my opinion, we had a combine come that the kids got to climb in. We had the mobile dairy classroom with a real cow. They got to actually see it be milked. And the Lions Club actually provided their food for that night. So shout out to them. If you need anything else from me, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We good? Awesome. Parks and Cemetery.
With the heat and dryness that we were having, we were able to break off from mowing for a while. Got started on little projects. Centennial actually has several trees that died that need took out. We've got one down. Plan is to do another one tomorrow. A couple months ago, we built little covered picnic tables to put by the skate park. We finally got those set. Got the island maintained, pulled the fountains in, maintained those. Guys at the cemetery have gotten started. They started in Graham first since it was had the least amount of damage and stuff. So they kind of got started in Graham, and they're working their way into Fairview. And of course, this one little rain we got, it's all it took for make the grass start growing again. That's the worst thing we needed. But yeah, we got quite a few little projects knocked out the last week or two, and making some headway for the cemetery on the plottage. He's supposed to actually have the plans. We've met, and he's actually supposed to have them drawn up for me next week. So we'll see about going forward after that. Other than that, just staying busy.
What is your plan for when you move over onto the Fairview side for the tornado damage?
We'll start first with dirt work, trying to dress up where the stones go, and then as we go, if the pad needs reset, then we'll do the pads, and then we'll probably just start in one area and then move along. It'll probably be that west side that we'll start. And I've got actually got a bunch more topsoil hauled in, because we were actually getting low. All we have is old nasty clay out there.
Yeah.
And so I got some decent dirt to work with, and so that's the plan. Just like I said, we'll have to start with dirt work so we can do the stones. But as we do we'll do the stone as we go.
When does your summer help end?
The one I have, he's not in school, so, and then being I originally had two and one quit pretty early, so I'm going to try to bring on a second one to help with that. And then the one that's been there will help, but also they've been weed eaten, and as they get weed eaten, they spray. And so, certain areas look really good, and certain areas you can tell where they haven't hit, but they're getting there. So I'm going to try to get a second temp on, if anything, just for next month or so to help out, because we're going to almost have to, two of them, and we're going to have it to get that done. A lot of it's just like I said from the beginning, it's weather, cooperating, so.
That tornado didn't help out either, did it?
Well, no, no.
Put a lot of extra work on you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So that's the plan, and as long as it stays dry and we're not mowing, and that's just to get started on that. So, but I think they've got Graham. And then at the end, they're not messing with any more trees yet. The goal is dirt work and stones, and then there's still quite a few trees that's going to need to either come on out or whatever. That'll probably be a winter project. So.
Well, when you take the trees out, do you
We'll ask for
dig up and take the roots out too?
We usually take the whole, since we got the backhoe, we usually take the whole stump and everything out. There might be that rare one that's, if it's in a group of graves that we, we might try it and then see what happens. But that's, most time we're able to take them all the way out. And then I'll probably have a thing in the paper if people want to donate trees. Not ready yet, but
And then I think every year or so, usually, I think it was in June, the Wildlife or State Parks Department would come in and take care of the ducks. Have they done that this year?
No, in the last couple of years, it's when I called them, it was mainly the geese that we were having the trouble with.
But they haven't been called this year for the...
No, it would have been a few months ago. There's only a certain time period they can do it. They say when they're doing that molting and they don't fly. But the problem we have is they're so scattered all over town. It's where it's not like they're all at the park. And so what they do is come and feed them for a couple of weeks, get them used, and then they trap them. But if they're scattered all over town, it's hard to get them to.
Okay. And then lastly, has the Frank Hare ballpark sign ever showed back up?
No, I've asked them. No one seems to know what happened to it. So.
Okay. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you, sir. Chief Gandrell, Police and Shelter.
So we just got switched over on our new system, report system. it's Otis. It's going to save us quite a bit of money as far as versus Spillman was, and it's going to be a lot easier to operate as far as officers doing reports and statistics and things. We just got it up and running, so we don't have any statistics yet, but we're all learning it. It's flowing good. We've had several people that have worked at the county before that have used the system, so it's coming in handy having the people in the counties come over and help us some. And then Joe implements with it, so our court system is everything just goes straight up there, and I think we're getting the kinks worked out. So it is definitely going to be a lot easier once we get the little hiccups worked out. We had the Junior Police Academy 2 weeks ago also. That went really good. We had 17 kids. It was a full week of different things that we were able to do and provide for them. And nobody crashed a car, so that was good, or golf carts. So that was a good thing. We did golf carts this year, so it was a lot better. But it was a good time. The kids had fun. They enjoyed it. The instructors enjoyed it. And it puts the officer in there with the kids, and it really changed a lot as far as the attitude with the officer. It was neat to see him interacting with the kids. And GRDA police took them up on the boats and was jumping in the lake with them. So it was a good time. School's getting started. We're prepping for that. The school resource situation, we're still down one for now, but hopefully get that back soon. So we'll be back full staff as far as that situation, but we're working with schools to kind of get their goals for the year and kind of what they want to see and those kind of things, that we're all on the same page when the school year starts. Rec center break-ins, we had 2 in the middle of the day the other day, and so we did research. I went kind of down a rabbit hole. It turned into a connection to the Texas break-ins down in kind of the Dallas area. Then Norman got hit with the same kind of break-ins, and then several cities across Oklahoma. We're thinking it's 2 groups working together across a couple states. We still don't have any, the pictures are there, but we don't have suspects yet. So we're still working on some of that, but it was kind of an isolated deal that somebody hits cars right in the middle of the day and bust windows out and knew exactly what they were going for. So we're working with Mike on some of that situation with the camera situation at the rec center and stuff. So car situation, we've been talking with Enterprise. I know me and the mayor's working with them, and we kind of sent them all our fleet. They do Tahlequah's fleet, the Claremore's fleet, as far as vehicles go, and they have plans. Like we talked about a 5-year plan in the past, so that kind of gives us a vision. Instead of trying to buy a car here and there, they're going to work out a plan for us and hopefully be beneficial. We don't have the numbers back yet, but it sounds like a good deal, and I know Adam Anderson sat in there with it, and he was on board with it as well. Getting ready for special events. Obviously, we're Oklahoma, born and raised. The September things are going on, and then we'll roll into October with the music festival here. So just prepping for those kind of deals. Traffic accidents have been a kind of a big topic lately. If you've been out on the highway at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's busy. And car speed, it's 55. I call it no man's land from 9th Street all the way to get out of town. It's 55 miles an hour, but there's a lot of people speed through there. Same out here on 20, it's 65 miles an hour. People speed on it. The one the other day on 20, I was standing there looking. You can see both directions. The car was coming from Salina, turned left right in front of a car headed towards Salina, and it was a T-bone. I was kind of talking to Zach earlier today. A lot of it is the human element. Obviously, some enforcement is warranted, and we did do special emphasis the other day. And I've been telling the guys, let's get out there and be seen on the highways and stopping cars, trucks, because it's a mix. It's semis, it's cars, you name it. But some, like Whitehorn Cove, they have the signs that flash, dangerous intersection, slow the speed limit down. That might be some options, but you still got the human element on a lot of this stuff is kind of at place. So just some things that we're working through and talking about, trying to come up with some solutions, because there definitely is issues at a couple of the intersections that we have an ongoing problem with. Anything else for me?
You're
Question. Well, number one, how's your radar wagon working?
Good. It's just getting it around. We've been busy, so I try to move it some. There's a couple of us that have the hitches that can move it, and getting everybody set up on the computer system for it. Only a few of us have it right now. So, but
talking about the accidents, everybody's got an idea and opinion. I think, or maybe I need to ask, do we need to, or do you want to do it, to ask OHP, Sheriff's Office, if they would assist us in this stuff? You don't have the people to do it. If you're doing somebody's breaking in the middle of town, and I understand. We don't have the money to hire anybody else, so can if we ask, or do we need to ask the other agencies to help, or have you asked them, or how do you feel?
And I can reach out to them. I know OHP's been thin, and they're kind of pulling outside the city limits. You've seen it with Tulsa and Oklahoma City. But I can talk to them. There's some troopers around, and then I know county's got the OSO grant, I believe, that is going to start as well. So, which is a Highway Safety Office grant for traffic. So I can talk to them as well. On some of that, obviously their focus is outside the city limits, but they would work emphasis and stuff in town. I mean, Troop knows it.
Where I'm headed with this, there was an old man that ran a red light. The police officer stopped him. He said, "Did you not see that red light?" And the man said, "Yeah, but I didn't see you." And I think that's the idea.
No, correct.
They see it for you. We'll be crashing.
And I think that day they worked it, there was 4 officers doing it within a 2-hour period. There's 30-something tickets, I believe, something like that. So there was a lot of citations issued on the 69 corridor.
Well, there's a lot of discussion going on about where we can do things, what we can do. You know, we all saw the news article about the stoplights, and some of the comments there were, well, technology isn't going to take care of stupidity. Listen, you heard Chief. A lot of this is a human element that you have to be alert, have to be there. The idea is that some of that technology can help with the situation. The radar systems that they put on those will hold the lights till the faster moving objects get through them. They'll help regulate the speed in which the lights change, and a lot of our lights are for that. It's not a cure-all that we're seeking the assistance. We've also reached out to Cherokee Nation, even as soon as yesterday after that wreck, and you know, we're not looking for a financial situation. We want to know what they've discussed, what they've got, what plans they know. Would they help us go to the state and say, hey, what can ODOT do to help make that a safer intersection? So it's working together to try to figure out what we can do, what options are out there. You know, like Jeremy said, there, you know, if you've ever gone to Wagner, you get almost to Wagner and there's one of those, you know, there's rumble strips in the road. There's flashing lights that say the light's changing. And we've all been there where, you know, you're cruising right along and you got to come to a stop. The idea is it still doesn't take out that human element. So what we need to do is encourage our friends and our family to be careful, be alert, and just not be in that hurry. I went out yesterday and sat out there for a while, and I can't tell you how many times I watched people literally almost hit each other because we're trying to cross too fast, we're trying to get across there, we're not waiting. It's really, a lot of it just goes back to we need to be more cautious as drivers, you know.
And it's busy certain times of day, especially at that intersection. It's like it's really busy, so people panic. You know, and there's a lot of moving traffic coming across there.
I have no doubt that new lights would be real fine, and I know they work, they actually radar and pick up the cars in this lane and that lane, but regardless of what you have, if you got a 4-way stop, if you don't have somebody there enforcing it, it won't make any difference.
No, and I think that's part of the, like you said, we got to work together to get, you know, and that's going to take the interstate agencies saying, hey, we can throw some extra help out there. They've clearly got a problem, you know, for those that are unaware. When you go to the Oklahoma Highway Safety Transportation website and you pull up the information on the crash data, they list that by cities over 5,500 people. Out of the 77 communities that are listed, Pryor is #1 in almost every category at high risk. So we've been going to the state levels and things saying, we need some help. Whatever we can get, we'll take. And it will include asking other agencies to help us. But we are very much aware that there's a big problem there. So.
And those two intersections, 20 and 69A, set half of it's in the city limits, half of it's in the county. So if it's on this side, it's ours. If it's on that side, it's troops. So it's also kind of one of those. It's kind of half and half, which is weird as far as the intersection. But we are working together, and there's things that we're looking at trying to do. So thank you.
Our numbers were not as impressive this month. Sorry, we brought in more than we adopted out, but we will be doing the Clear the Shelter this month. That is a nationwide adoption event. NBC helps put that on. And we will also be at the fairgrounds this Saturday for, with the free vaccination clinic, we'll be doing free city tags. So,
How many years have we been doing that vaccination clinic?
I don't know,
5 years
We've
now.
been
So
doing it like 3, we've been doing the free,
that's a big deal.
yeah, kind of is, kind of really is a big deal, because they get a lot done, they trim toenails and everything else.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Rec Center. Mr. Moore.
Good evening, everybody. So we're just kind of shifting gears from summer to fall with school starting. Some of the groups that do our rentals, you know, we'll have 3 or 4 groups with PHS, with after-school program, swim team, POM, and then we'll be hosting their PE classes again this year for at least half the year until their new building is done. So, you know, we're ramping that up. We'll have the competitive cheer team back. Excuse me. We're kind of become their home, so that'll be a nice rental income for us. So anyway, we're kind of shifting gears, getting fall schedules out and getting going. A few other things. We did have the bid opening today for that second round with the HVAC stuff. So I just haven't really looked at them. We just recorded them, and then I've got the information. Jay was there and took records. She has the original and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get into that here in the next day or two and make a decision and bring something forward. So we had a power outage last week over on our side of town. We were out of power for 9 hours, I believe, from about 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that was kind of a new deal for us, you know, kind of a drill kind of a thing. And so we were basically shut down, and we ended up going ahead and shutting down the rest of the day just to make sure our systems all came back up. If our pool's down for more than 2 hours, it has to be shut down for 4 because that's how long it takes it for the water to cycle. So that would have taken us up to 10 o'clock, and then just to give us time to check everything else. So we were shut down really for the most part of the day on Thursday. But luckily everything did boot back up, and we're up and running. So we're on kind of on a roll on the membership side. We hit the 2,000 mark again this last month in July with 2,132. We had 201 new members in total. Our Cherokee Nation membership was at 627, which is strong. And we had 1,871 day passes doing the different things. So membership, you know, in the heat of the summer, good. It's kind of an anomaly, I think, that we're able to maintain that. But again, I credit our staff for the job that they're doing. Pool parties, we had 15 again. That's been kind of our thing. Most of the time we have about 15 a month. We had 80 swim lessons that we completed over the course of the summer this last month. On the fitness side of things, Jess Rigger, our coordinator, she's been asked to be a member of the Mays County Trails Alliance Board, so she's going to get involved with that. So we're happy to see that. She's in charge of, does a lot with our marketing, so we're going to continue to that. I think we're feeling that with our membership, at least we hope so. Our class participation on land and water classes have risen just a little bit over last month. And then today we're getting our controlled access installed on that east door on the employee side of the building. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Somebody's got any questions on anything?
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah.
On your rebid project on the air conditioning systems, how many did you have bid this time?
So we got picked up 1, so we had 3. And what I did is I called 4 other businesses in town personally and just invited them to bid, make sure they knew. So we did pick up 1. So it's kind of a variety on the bottom line, but I haven't delved into the details. I think there's probably some differences there I'll look into. But, so we did pick up 1. So.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
Buddy Glenn, street.
Of course, everybody knows the overlay has been completed. They did get out there the other day and get the lines put on. There was some, I guess you probably if you drive out there and you see a couple of tire marks where it comes off of it, where people got impatient and went around and kind of the wet paint. But again, that's that's another thing that's just the human element that you have to deal with. We put some pipes in over on one over at Irving Street, South Row. We done one out at Keels Road. We done one here the other day on North Whitaker. We've got one tomorrow at Ross Street, and then over on South Hogan, we've got another one that we've got to put in. We've ordered the pipe, and it finally come in, so we'll be doing that one here this week or first of the next week. Concrete, we've done some North Elliott. We've done another pour of sidewalks out there on the Maze, that little sidewalk project we got. We got one more pour that we're going to do out there, and then move over to another area to do some more sidewalks. We got some over on Irving and some on Bryan, and just different areas. So we're not just all in one spot. That'd be about 300 feet we'll be pouring over there on South Maze. Of course, like I said, we're still, our grass is not slowed down hardly any at all. We're still mowing the right of ways and the drainages. We finally got them done for the rain come here the other day. But like I said, with that rain already, it's just going crazy. I don't know, maybe start selling grass or something, I don't know. Crosswalks, we've got around all the schools and everything, crosswalks, stop bars done with them. We still have downtown area to do. We still got the crosswalks that we need to paint. On those, we had to order a couple new tips. Those other ones we had, they wore out. They've adjusted them all they can, and it's just not spraying where it looks good. So we've got a couple of tips ordered. If they come in this week, we may start Friday on those. If not, again, it'll be this next week when we get on them. Starting on alleys, like I said, we've kind of put off on them. We need to get back and get those mowed and get them sprayed where the grass and the weeds, things like that's all back down on it. We got to come back and do some trimming. The trees hadn't grown back too much over the last year, but like I said, there'll be some shrubs. But I mean, we'll try to get it done. But again, we're going to have to do something because again, they're using the alleyway, since it's out of sight and out of mind. They're using it as a trash bin. So their limbs, trash, everything back there. I don't know what else to do. So we're just going to mow around it and go on. We've cleaned it up for 3 or 4 years that we've gone in and cleaned it up, and they're just using it as a trash back there. So I mean, if there's nothing done, I mean, there's besides the utilities, I mean, back in through there. I know there's still alleys that's still for the cities, but I don't know what to do with that. So.
Well, and we need to reiterate also the conversation you and I had about the alleys versus the easements.
Yeah.
The utility easements. So the alleys are our buddies to use. That's what they're there for, trash, things like that. But you want to kind of touch on that real quick?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're talking about 4 of them. I'm trying to remember what it
was. The utility easements.
Oh yeah, utility easements back here. I mean, like for the utilities, they'll come in if there's anything in the lines. I mean, they do come in and trim. They help us out. If we have some areas and stuff that we can't get into, I know we're not allowed to trim over that. But I mean, we do have some drainages and stuff back in there, so it's not something we can just leave be and not do anything with. I mean, I know the sanitation, they go out to the streets and stuff like that, but there's still utilities back in through there. We do have some drainages back in through there. And there's a lot of people that use the alleys to park in. They don't have enough out front, and they didn't want to park on the street, so they've made them some driveways in the back area. So, but I mean, that's just something we need to do. But I mean, it just for the trash part's getting out of hand. And I know we talked, but I mean, I'm getting old, so
yeah,
my mind's getting.
We'll forgive you. No, I mean, really, what we want to make sure is that if you've got a utility easement in your backyard, and it's part of your property line, we would like you to kind of help take care of that. There's only a few city workers, a couple extra mows with a weed eater would help these guys out a lot.
Yep.
And so I guess that's what we're asking is, where you can just hit your space behind your fence or whatever you've got, and don't leave it specifically for them to do, because it might not get done right away.
Yeah, if they would just keep the trash picked up, I mean, we could mow it, that wouldn't be a problem. But I mean, like I said, we're just getting to now where, again, we're getting brush piles back here, and so it's out of sight, out of mind. But
Mayor, and maybe to the city attorney also, just like on traffic enforcement, about writing tickets, if it's in violation of the city ordinance that they've dumped illegal dumping of brush or trash in their back alley, can't they just, isn't it possible that it could be written a citation for that?
It is possible. And let me tell you, Officer Humphreys has been beyond busy with grass this summer. It's been grass and overgrown yards, weeds, debris, things like that, along with the normal stuff. So yeah, those citations can come. A lot of times you will get, like I said, meeting last week, you'll get some notices before you just get a citation though. They'll usually try to come put a white and red sign on your door that says, you need to fix this, you're in violation of, or whatever. You know, we're not gonna just go out and start slapping fines on everybody because that's not how we operate. Once you've been told several times, then yeah, you're subject to that. Jace, you got anything on that, or? There you go.
Well, like I said, I didn't know if, I mean, there's a possibility. I know with the size of Pryor, with just, you know, one guy trying to get around, I didn't know if that's something that, or the street department, if we have a guy over there, because I think they have what is like a 3-day class that you can take for something like this and start being aware of what your ordinances and stuff is, where somebody could have the power to be able to go up to, you know, knock on their door and say, hey, you know, I have the authorities tell you need to clean this up. Because I mean, they look at me, I can tell them when they weed eat on the street, and I said, you got to, you know, you can't leave that on there. They just look at me and laugh and go on. So I mean, there's not a whole lot I can do.
The OECA code enforcement class.
Yeah.
We can talk about that. That's
Okay. Anything else anybody have for me? All right, thank you.
City Clerk, Hannah.
I put in front of you guys essentially what I want to report, so you have it, and then good things are in the works with Casell. They have removed some duplicate entries that date back to the beginning of the fiscal year. They're going to continue and review and analyze our data, and will be completing this project during the training they're going to be giving me on the next week for a couple days. I've reconciled the payroll transactions to the general ledger for all the payrolls since we've gone with Paylocity. Everything's up to date. Jeff called and instructed me on some items to move and reclassify, and made some corrections from the beginning balances. And I also have got Bart working on getting him access to Casell. There's some issues with security that he wants to go over and make sure he doesn't open a door for somebody to get in and mess with stuff, but we're real close to that, and I'm excited about that. And then on the other, I was just gonna let you know, Paylocity's building our workflows for our job posting, hiring, onboarding, and benefit integration. So we're getting really excited about how that's working. And the portal's organizing our processes and keeping our workflow centralized. And I am super grateful for the team that I have. I just want to always say that. And I keep telling them my goal is to produce quality work. So we're trying to do that for the city. Anything else?
You got any guess when we'll have our financials over it?
As soon as I get done with my training, we've got a couple of more things they're going to show me to fix, and that'll be next week.
Okay.
They'll be here Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yes, I have a question. Any tort claims filed in the past month or two?
We had, yes, one.
Okay. What was it?
It was regarding a street vehicle.
In a construction zone, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So back to Casell for a second. Would it be possible to get, I know there's a lot of adjustments going on.
Mm-hmm.
Probably some helpful to the city, some not helpful to the city. Would it be possible to get a list of those adjustments that Casell has made with the net effect to our financial position?
I think so.
Yeah, so we had talked about that, and I talked to Kim, who is the head CPA over, is head the right word? She's kind of the one communicating.
Doing the actual work.
Yeah, and she was gonna make note of any of the modifications that they made, so.
I'd be interested to see those numbers.
Yep.
And we're going back just for the last fiscal year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
All right, item 4, consent agenda. Are there any items we need to pull? A. All right, do I have a motion for B, C, D, E, and F?
Motion.
Motion from Troya.
Second.
I got a second from Bruce. Call for the vote.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Item A, approve the minutes of the July 15th, 2025 council meeting.
Motion.
A motion from Choya,
Second.
second from Lamar.
So before we vote on this, just to clarify, even though we were not at that meeting, as long as we were comfortable with those minutes, we can still vote? Okay.
Further discussion on that? Call for the vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
Lamar.
Seems to always happen to you, Terry.
It's hard when we've got those people who are absent.
All right, mayor's report, item A, discussion and possible action to accept a bid for the South Elliott Street Drainage Project. Bids received, JS Construction of Veneta in the amount of $370,389, and Gober Construction of Broken Arrow in the amount of $528,362. The engineer's estimate was $456,618. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion from Lamar and a second from Rushiers. Dale, you got anything for us on that?
Yeah, we had 5 contractors that checked out plans. We received two bids on the project itself. We have worked with J&S before, and they do satisfactory work, so our recommendation is to award it to J&S.
And has all the required documents been verified
Yes.
and on file at the city clerk's office?
They were emailed up.
Yes,
Okay.
so the ones that you guys received in your packet, plus, are there. As soon as we have our pre-construction meeting, the rest of that'll be,
Be uploaded.
those official documents will be there, and those will be put into those. So,
And once we do the pre-con, the city will get the original book with all the original documents in it.
When do you expect they will start?
Haven't talked to him
Whoever
about
gets the bid.
that yet. As far as the parts go, I think it's pretty available. So I do know he's doing a job over in Walika right now that he's trying to finish up, and he's gonna try to move to this one. But I don't know how that job's going along. It's another engineer.
I said this in the street meeting, but just to put it out there for the public that didn't watch that, we don't have a concern going with an exorbitantly much lower bidder.
I actually gave him a call and said, I want you to check your bid.
Okay.
Make sure you didn't miss anything. And he emailed me back and said, I am comfortable with my bid. I said, okay.
And the scope of this work is what street to what street? This is gonna be the whole thing instead of just a small segment like?
correct, it'll start at, adjacent to the
It's
to the
15,
school.
whatever south, yeah.
Wherever the school is at,
School,
where
yes.
Buddy put his,
Yes,
15th is where you put
15th Street.
in the temporary patch. It'll go
All
from
the way
there
to 10.
to the north.
Yes.
So I want to also, as we talk tonight, the topic of choice seems to be the human factor. We realize that school is about to start, and we realize that that's a very narrow corridor through there. So we're going to ask patience as we go through this. Most of this should be off the side of the road, but there may be some interference. Patience as we get to this. We want to get it done before the winter weather starts to get in. We have other projects downstream that are gonna need to be done as well by the park and stuff, so we need to do it. I will say also that, I always hope I'm saying it right, Gober, is that right? I don't wanna say that wrong. Gober did say after the bid opening that his price was much higher because he takes into consideration the traffic. So that was his comment to Dale and I after the meeting, so.
And I did talk to J&S and said, you took into account the traffic, the signs. I mean, it's on the side of the road, so there may be times we have to shut the lane down, one lane down, and detour traffic around. But, I mean, when you go right down the bar ditch, you ain't got no choice.
It should be.
It's safety.
Reasonably.
Yeah.
Fast project though.
It should be, yes.
We're not recreating the wheel,
We're not digging that deep.
yeah. Okay. Any further questions, comments? Okay, so I've got a motion to approve that bid from J&S for $370,389. Go ahead and call for the vote. Thank you, Carl.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, item B, discussion and possible action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $424,278 to J&R Equipment of Oklahoma City for a 2025 Elgin street sweeper. There's a correction on this. I'll give that as soon as we're done. To be paid from street mowing account 141455343. It says this is a state contract price. We also have a correction on that. So the true account should be 141455343 as listed, but that is street fleet account. So, do I have a motion?
Wait a minute,
You want that again?
it's 5321 instead of 5343.
Did you write that down?
Did I write that?
Fleet, it's the street fleet. What do you got on that?
It's fleet, but it's 5321.
You wrote 5343. All right. It's all right, we'll forgive you, 21. All right, street fleet account.
Mayor, did I read that, maybe you sent it to me, that the state contract didn't have a price on that sweeper? Did I read that right?
Do we have a motion?
No, we don't have a motion yet. Let's get that motion real quick.
Motion.
Motion from Choya,
Second.
second from Lamar. Yeah, so this is where it gets a little interesting. So I have two documents that were sent to you guys this morning, the council. I got those from Buddy this morning and I forwarded those on. This is what we call, and I had I'm sorry, Phyllis, I'm doing it to you. I brought my friend Phyllis in. She has helped us tremendously.
She's our friend.
I realized as soon as I said that, but I feel like we've had a lot of time this week together. So that is correct. She is everybody's. This is a Sourcewell contract. So the state of Oklahoma has a contract with Sourcewell to give the pricing on certain items that are not covered under state pricing. It's confusing. And Phyllis, feel free to jump in if you have anything clear on this, because we hammered this out pretty good, right?
Well, Sourcewell is a cooperative.
Cooperative, it is not state.
That's the word you're looking for. It's a cooperative out in Minnesota, which is fine. And it's set up for educational, institutional, government procurement. And there's certainly nothing, and the municipality of Pryor Creek can utilize that cooperative. Oklahoma also has one, probably several towns, I would guess, probably all over the country use it, school districts may use it. Sourcewell is not one I was familiar with, but I haven't done this for several years. I used to use Education and Institutional Cooperative, which is a different one. So it's not a state of Oklahoma contract. That was just a kind of a misnomer, misunderstanding. But it's a cooperative pricing through that particular organization. In my mind, there's nothing wrong with using that.
Correct, and we did get a letter from J&R. It's about the Sourcewell. It does say that Oklahoma state contract no longer includes sweepers. Sourcewell contract is what is available for cooperative purchasing for municipalities. Thank you for the opportunity, and let me know if you have any questions. Angela Allen, Account Manager for Oklahoma.
Does that eliminate us from having to get bids in?
Yes.
Meeting to do this?
Yes. Yeah, and so also,
I looked into this when your emails came out, so this is actually in your purchasing manual, which I'm sure all of you have read and memorized at this point. So page 9, section K specifically deals with these types of cooperative contracts, so you guys are already prepared for that?
okay, so the other thing that I want to bring up, and again, this was caught by the discussion with Phyllis, in the terms and conditions from JNR, it talks about the pricing, and it says that Elgin is the provider of is the manufacturer of the sweep. Buddy, you can come up and interject at any time. I know you're probably not feeling top of the world today, but. Yeah, it says Elgin reserves, this was in their terms and conditions, second sentence of the second paragraph under price, that Elgin reserves the right to increase the order price set forth in proposal summary at any time before delivery to the buyer to reflect any increase in Elgin's cost to manufacture or deliver the order product due to any factor beyond the reasonable control of Elgin. So reached out, had Buddy get a hold of there. They sent a letter along this morning that was forwarded to you guys. And again, this is from the account manager, Angela Allen from JR, dated Monday, August 4th. Says, I am writing this letter to confirm that the stated price for the Elgin sweeper is the final and will not change. We appreciate this opportunity and look forward to working with the city. And Buddy, you said that this sweeper is actually sitting in Tulsa right now.
Correct. It was a brand new sweeper, and again, you know, there's 3 different people that I contacted. One, their sweepers they had was not big enough, what they was offering. And then there was the other 2 that was the size I was looking for. But the other one, I told them I would not purchase anything unless I had a demonstration. So Elgin was the only one that brought anything down, and it was a brand new, and they pulled it out of their fleet, so there's no waiting. I know one of the things with the dump trucks, we had a bad deal with those. But that's when I told her, you know, that, you know, if the price raises up, you know, she goes, no, it will will not raise up in price or whatever, and it's sitting in Tulsa right now. So all I got to do is call her. Within an hour and a half, it'll be here. So there's not, like with Kirby Smith, I mean, the closest one, they was not able to do a demonstration. The sweeper that they had was close to what this one was. They're basically set up the same, but they could not do a demonstration. They did not have anything. The only way they could do it if you purchased one, but they did have one that we could go watch a demonstration, but it was in South Dakota. And I couldn't talk to Mayor and let me go in up there. So.
No, I said we could take a road trip, and you said, no, it's not.
Oh, was it me that done that? Okay.
Yeah, you wanted to.
Okay.
But also on the Kirby Smith one, it does say, if you note on that, I believe that's the first page of theirs, it does say delivery is 300 days after receipt of order.
Correct.
And that one is only 2,000 less than the one that's in Tulsa.
Yeah.
So that's why, even though it's less,
yeah, because I mean, this one was 424, 278, and that other one was 424, 980.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's not much difference, but I mean.
Any further questions on that? Okay, then we'll call for the vote.
Trammell,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Amar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Hey, buddy, what's the first place you're going with this? Downtown?
No, there's a gentleman that's been real nice. He brings me out cookies. It's on 14th Street, 14th.
That's a good deal.
See how that works, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that we know how the street department works, I'm sure the alleys some of those alleys will be real clear, won't they? I'm gonna be like, I got.
If you find it in the street or laying on the ground, it's not illegal.
Right.
It's gonna be like, we got some no bakes. That alley's done. All right. Well, good deal. Appreciate that. All right. Item C, discussion and possible action regarding a quote in the amount of $7,083.20 to Melton's AC and appliance for a Manitowoc. Yep, Manitowoc 450 ice machine head with a 532 bin and installation to be paid from street capital outlay 141455411. The other quote was requested but not received. One other quote was requested, not received.
Motion.
We have a motion from Choya,
Second.
second from Brashears.
Did you vote on me? Sorry.
Yes, yes, we did. We had 5 yeses.
Well, one of the reasons with, for the price, the area that we have to put it in, there had to be extra because the wiring is, I guess the building was built back in the 80s. So the wiring that they had in there would not hold up to this machine. So they're gonna have to rewire it, and where we was wanting to put it, it really wasn't a big enough area with a little small machine. But that's the reason why for the extra money for that, for the plumbing and the wiring, is they're gonna have to come back in and redo that, because what they're afraid of is it's gonna burn the wires, and we would have trouble from that point on. So they're gonna come in and pull a new wire that will help maintain the ice machine where it won't be kicking on and off all the time, so.
Yeah, and I'd like to give a thank to Frank's crew for helping keep you guys supplied with ice. So that would,
Frank and them and BK for offering down through there. We try to go down and mooch what we can off of them sometimes, and a little extra coffee, but, no, I appreciate those guys.
it's cookies.
Yeah, no, he ain't got cookies down there.
Anyway, all right. But yes, you guys have been operating without an ice machine, and when we had the street meeting, you guys said that this felt the same, that this was an emergency with the heat and the resource that is needed, so. Any further questions on that? Call for the vote.
Smith.
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Item D, discussion and possible action to hire Samantha Jenin at the Pryor Creek Police Department as Animal Control Officer, Range C, Step 1, effective August 11th, 2025. This hire will fill the vacancy created by the resignation of Maria Hargis.
Motion.
A motion from Choya
Second.
and a second from Lamar. Chief, you got anything on that?
No, Becky, it was kind of a different deal with Paylocity, because it was our first application process through them, and we had 71 applications. Some were no good, that weren't filled out. There was quite a few good ones in there, and Becky and them went through the interview process, and this one actually came recommended from Maria, and they interviewed her, and I think she'll do a good job to fill her spot. She wasn't able to make it tonight. She's out of town.
All right, any further discussion? Call for the vote.
Lamar.
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
All right, city attorney's report. First reading of an ordinance amending a zoning classification from residential duplex, RD, to commercial automotive recreation, CAR, for of the property described as follows. Can I get a waiving of that?
Make a motion. Go ahead.
We need to read it since it's the first. Yep.
Make a motion with the waiting of the reading.
Second.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me.
Okay, we're waiving the reading. B, first reading of an I feel like we're missing something here, Chase. Sorry, did I? We need to vote on that reading, correct? To amend that. So should that read, first reading and approval of an ordinance? Are you seeing that?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what.
If it's the first reading, can we vote on it?
No, you don't approve it. No, you're just reading them.
So do we have to
So we have to read it.
Be read.
Well, I think you can waive the reading since it's posted.
If you guys want me to read it, I'll read it. It's not a big deal.
No,
But that's why there's no approvals, because there's no.
We're just reading it.
We're just reading it.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right. So, and since we're reading it, we're not voting on it, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Item B, first reading of an ordinance regarding the closing of an easement of the property described as follows. I'll read this one. Casey's General Store for owners Wallace and Phyllis Baker Trust, Lori Ann Reinhardt trustee, legal as read in item 6A, waived. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Second by who?
Brashears.
Bashir.
Okay.
we're not obviously voting on this one either, so, but at what point are we done and so Casey's can come in and start work? How many more readings of this thing do we have to do?
Got one more.
I mean, let's, okay.
And we're in communication with them. They're following the process, so.
Okay.
They are,
So next council meeting, we'll be ready for Casey's to break ground.
yeah, and if you'd like, Charles, while we're on this, I can share an email that I got from their property developer.
Is there,
That's fine, but I guess the reason I'm asking is I'm getting a lot of questions about when's Casey's coming to town. I mean, people are anxious, I think.
Yeah, so the big problem is that as they got to wrap up their acquisition of the property, we found this they found this old easement, utility easement that went right through the center of that property, where they would basically be building their store. And in that, they want to do it right. They want to vacate that so that it's not an issue. MUB wants us to vacate that, so it's not an issue for them down the road, and we want our records to be correct. And so, you know, after that last meeting where we had a delay, this is Dustin Higgins, their lead developer, said, I just wanted to reach out and thank you for doing what you could to help move this project forward. It has been a great experience working with the city of Pryor on this project, and we have truly enjoyed how great everyone has been to work with. I think basically invited me to call him at a certain time the following day. So thank you again to you and your staffs for your effort leading up to that night and your attempt in the meetings. So Casey's they're good. They're moving right as they desired to. So we've kind of got them back on track. Any comments on that?
yes, so is there actual closing of the purchase of the property all waiting on and contingent with us finally getting all this approved though?
Yeah, so that was.
So when we go through the August 5th, the next meeting, and finally get this thing to bed, then they can proceed with closing.
Their purchase agreement with the Baker Trust is that once all of this is clear, then that sale will go through. And that's a contract that they have with them. So as soon as we get this knocked through, that's why there's been such an urgency to keep the ball rolling, so that they can make that move. And they've sent their plans through. We've seen their plans. We've got those plans. We've got all of that in place. It's literally just, this is the process. This isn't anything irregular other than we found that easement and we're vacating it. So again, Casey's is on track and they're very content right now how things are going. So, all right. I think we're on. Did we do C, Hannah?
We're on C.
We're on C.
Now we're on to C.
Okay. First reading of an ordinance changing and amending a zoning classification from residential mobile home, RMH, to commercial automotive recreation, CAR, of the property described as follows. Casey Cowan, this is a short one, I'll read it. The north 660.21 feet of south 877.21 feet of the east half of the southwest quarter of the northwest quarter of section 7, township 21, north, range 19, east of the Indian Base Meridian, Mays County, state of Oklahoma. motion on that?
Well, okay, I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you. So we got a motion by Lamar, second by Joya.
And then I have a question, because when you read that just now, you had, in the first sentence, you had said the southeast quarter. I mean, you said the southwest, but it says southeast, so which one's correct?
I'm sorry, if I said the east half of the southwest, I misread that.
Okay.
So it is southeast, as stated, so I apologize. I didn't even realize I said southwest. Southeast quarter of the northwest quarter. Any further questions on that? Okay. Item D, first reading of an ordinance changing and amending a zoning classification from commercial general CG to residential single 35 of the property described as follows. Joe Crab Real Property, applicant 8 Point Creative LLC, the south 25 feet of lot numbered 17 and all of lot numbered 18 in block numbered 28 in the Whitaker addition to the incorporated town of Pryor Creek, Mays County, state of Oklahoma, according to the A.L. Gibbs survey and plat thereof, 21 North Indianola.
Motion.
I have a motion from Choya.
Second.
Second from Brashears. Okay. All right, item E. Processes, people, I love it. Moving forward. Discussion and possible action regarding an ordinance amending the, quote, City Code of Pryor Creek, Oklahoma by amending 10-16-1E regarding the quorum of, for the Planning Commission.
Motion.
We have a motion from Choya.
Second.
And a second from Brashears. We actually need to make an adjustment to that. Chase, when you wrote that out, we put 5 members and 2 alternates. I think, no, actually, that's what I think you wrote, I'm looking at my photocopy here.
Change it to a majority of the members.
Right, which we need it to read 5 and 2 alternates, which would give a majority of 3, right? The way it would be now, we would have an alternate.
You want to change the size of the board, not the quorum.
No, the quorum. So right now it reads that the quorum is the entire board, less the alternates. So that would mean majority would be 4, which would lead to a tie, could lead to a tie. So it would need to.
Gotcha. Does that change?
So, 5 members, 2 alternates, that would give us a majority of 3, would allow us to hold that meeting.
And I'll change my motion to reflect that.
Oh, and I'll change my second as
So
well.
Troy will change to reflect that, 5 members, 2 alternates, that gives us majority of 3. Brashears altered his as well. Any further questions on that? If none, we'll call for the vote.
One quick question. When will this take effect?
So if you look at the packet, I've started drafting your ordinances so that we don't have issues with this. So I specifically been putting in what your charter says and then what your ordinance say regarding publication. So your charter specifically says an ordinance shall not be passed on the day introduced in section 19. So I started putting those languages in your ordinances as they're being proposed so that we know all of this, because this has come up several times in the past. And then it won't actually take effect until 30 days after it's published, after you guys pass it. So you're not actually voting to pass it right now. What you're doing is you're voting to have me amend it to just like that, and then we'll come back.
I didn't hear the last sentence you said.
What you're not voting to pass this tonight, you're voting right now to have me make this change and bring it back to you with that change.
And then 30 days after that?
Well, it'll come back to you guys and then you vote on it.
Okay. All right. Call for vote.
Smith.
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Brashears.
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Item F, discussion and possible action regarding an ordinance establishing a merit-based promotion policy for city employees requiring that all promotions to leadership and higher ranking positions be based on qualifications, performance, competency, and affirming this policy shall prevail over conflicting terms in the collective bargaining agreements.
Motion for no action.
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion for no action by Charles, second from Choya.
So, whenever Troy and I were at the O&I meeting last time and we were reading through this, that kind of raised some eyebrows, some of the wording in there was kind of questionable. And then after the meeting, there were some folks who reached out to me, and I believe you as well, Mayor, expressing some concerns about the wording. So I think we need to send this to Chase, let him clean the wording up, make sure it's in line with state statutes, and then bring it back to O&I later this month, I believe.
Yes.
We'll have one,
Should be
so.
end of August, so. Okay. Further discussion? Call for the vote.
Lamar,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Discussion and possible action regarding an ordinance declaring a certain 164.98 acre tract of land donated to the city by Tom Giles to henceforth be known as Giles Park, establishing its purposes and providing for its preservation and dedication to outdoor learning and youth engagement.
Motion.
Have a motion from Choya,
Second.
second from Charles Trammell. Discussion? None, call for the vote.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Thank you. Item H, discussion and possible action regarding an ordinance amending the city code of Pryor Creek, Oklahoma by amending 2-1-3 regarding purchasing policy for the city of Pryor Creek.
Motion.
I have a motion from Shropshire,
Second.
second from Trammell. Discussion?
Mayor, I have a question.
Go for it, Bruce.
Page 12, request for bids. It says advertised at least once in the local paper. State law says twice.
Bruce is talking about the actual purchasing manual, not the ordinance. Just so you guys know what he's talking about.
Right.
What that is, so, you can change that or you can leave it. Other cities, I believe Oklahoma City has it the same wording as you guys currently do. That doesn't actually trump state law, so where that could get confusing is, well, if your ordinance says at least once, by state law, it has to be twice. It doesn't mean your ordinance is wrong, but it doesn't mean you can only do it once, because state law says twice.
Then I think it would behoove us to change that.
What?
That would behoove us to just change
Yeah.
that and make that.
I
Well,
think, if I had to guess, the
Well-
reason Oklahoma City has it is if it ever goes to war, they don't have to do anything, but
Yeah, say if,
it would just cause confusion, because nobody knows state law, so.
but if
I can make a motion to change it to 2.
Well, I don't know that you can actually change that tonight. The only thing on the, agenda is the ordinance itself.
So if the state legislator decided to axe the requirement to utilize a newspaper for bidding, but it's axed, it's no longer required. But because of this purchasing manual, the way we have it, we would still require it at least
That's
once.
correct.
So so there's no actual issue here, it's just, we're just gonna have to default to whatever the state statute says.
Yeah, the only reason you would want to update it in there is to make it clear to everybody so that they don't know.
To at least reference the state statute.
But what you can do, because tonight is only amending the ordinance, but the whole purpose of that purchasing manual is so now you know that an issue at the next meeting, stick it on the agenda.
So we would put that on the next
Yeah,
one.
just put it on the next
You
one.
don't have to go through the whole ordinance process every time, which is exactly what the plan was.
Okay.
So the ordinance, this took me a lot longer to write than I expected, I will say that. So, I went through the ordinance versus your purchasing manual. I compared, before we just nix your entire purchasing ordinance, I went through the entire ordinance, I went through the entire purchasing manual, and basically itemized the things that are not in the purchasing manual or in your ordinance. Whether or not you want them in the purchasing manual is completely up to you. I'm not saying they need to be in there. And we can go over those another night. But what this ordinance does is basically makes your entire purchasing ordinances and says, follow the policy manual. And then from now on, you can update the policy manual by resolution as opposed to having to go through the entire ordinance process.
Another question I have, Mayor, is the definition of vehicle, city vehicles. What are we talking about exactly there?
Well, that's a good question, Bruce, because in reference to what you're getting to there on that, we're talking about the golf carts. Apparently, this is an issue where we've had some clarification on that. Following the park board meeting, we have 2 park board members and a few others on the council that feel that the definition of a golf cart is not a low-speed vehicle. My first call after the meeting was to Chase, and my question very clearly was, is a golf cart a vehicle?
For the record, I was fishing and answered his phone call,
I'm grateful that you answered it.
which I massively regretted immediately.
Well, that said,
So that's why he charged us double, right?
no, we're good.
Will cookies make it better?
Y'all stop with the cookies for a minute. So the idea is that, you know, we as the board up here, when we created this manual, we put in there we created our own clause that basically states that for the purpose of purchasing vehicles, and let me get up here to it. Under purchases greater than 25,000,
Is that page what?
starts on page 6 of the manual and it goes to page 7. It says, exceptions may be granted for purchase of city vehicles as pertains to the best interest of the city. For vehicles only, the council may allow quotes in lieu of a bid. However, such quotes must include all substitutions and deletions. Requests shall be reviewed with the scope of work detailing the project's needs and evaluated by internal employees overseeing the project or service before publicly advertising. Now, I'm gonna try to keep this as close to the subject here as we've got.
So we're getting off the agenda pretty quickly.
But the idea is that, yes, a golf cart is a low-speed vehicle, much like a four-wheeler, I think that was the example I was given, is an all-terrain vehicle. So if the council is gonna decide that they want to restrict what the definition of a vehicle is, then we need to put that in there.
Title 47-1-134.1, low-speed electrical vehicle. We've got gasoline that don't count.
Well, if it's not going too far off,
I'm
does
gonna call a
this,
point of order here.
yeah,
This has nothing to do with the city ordinance. I'm sorry. I understand the need to have this conversation, but we need to get it on the next agenda. No offense, but I mean, we are so far.
Well,
off this
Mayor.
agenda item.
I'm trying to get the vehicle identified in here before we vote on it.
Well, you've already voted on that.
Well, this is an ordinance we're gonna vote on, we hadn't voted on, we could change it, right?
No, the ordinance is just what you said. It's
Yeah,
not,
The policy manual is not what you're voting on. You've already approved that by resolution. The ordinance that you're voting on is changing the wording in your bidding ordinances to update to say the ordinances follow that.
Follow the manual.
So this manual's already in effect, no matter if it's right or wrong.
But it can be changed
By
and updated.
but I'm saying we need to get it on the agenda for next time too.
Discuss what it is. But now.
Got that resolution, right?
Assuming you.
By resolution.
Assuming you guys change the ordinance, now changing your bidding process will be extremely easy compared to what it was.
Personally, I think there's a couple of things need to be changed. Most of it's all right, but there's a couple of things just like the
Well,
vehicle thing.
I guess we can just get that on the next agenda and get this one out of the way.
By resolution, immediately it's changed. And we just add print.
Further discussion on item H. Call for the vote.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Smith,
No,
Lamar,
No.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Item I, possible executive session pursuant to the Oklahoma Meeting Act for purposes of discussing the arbitration between the FOP Lodge 116 and the City of Pryor Creek, 25307B4.
Motion.
Have a motion from Rushiers,
Second.
second from Trammell. Call for vote. No, we're not voting on that. Let's go to that executive session, right?
We already,
Did we vote?
We've already approved
Yeah,
that.
sit down. Jump in the car. Call for the vote. Call for the vote. Listen, you
Just
guys, call for
one.
the vote.
Trammell,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Lamar,
yes, let me have that clipboard,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, during this, do we need to bring this in
Item J, consider resuming regular session. No action taken during executive session.
Motion.
Have a motion from Bashir,
Second.
second from Joya. Call for the vote.
Smith.
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Discussion and possible action based on executive session concerning the grievance between FOP Lodge 116 and the City of Pryor Creek, 25 OS 307B4.
Make a motion of no action.
A motion for no action.
Second.
Second from Trammell. Call for the vote.
Lamar.
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
We're going to jump over to the addendum, possible executive session for the purpose of confidential communications with the city attorney and the city bargaining committee regarding the status of and ongoing actions related to Local 3567 of the International Association of Firefighters, AFL-CIO CLC collective bargaining agreement negotiation pursuant to 25307B2 and 4.
Motion.
A motion from Rushiers.
Second.
Second from Shropshire. Call for the vote.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
Motion.
Repeat.
Consider resuming regular session. No action taken during executive session.
Motion.
A motion from Brashears,
I'll second.
second from Shropshire. Call for the vote.
Did we do a motion or a motion for no action?
No, not yet. We're just going back.
Oh, okay,
Resume-
we're still, okay.
resuming
Never mind.
Resuming.
My apologies.
It's okay.
Long night.
Brashears.
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Discussion and possible action based on executive session for the purpose of confidential communication with city attorney and city bargaining committee regarding the status of and ongoing actions related to Local 3567 of the International Association of Firefighters, AFL-CIO, CLC, collective bargaining agreement negotiations pursuant to 25-307B2 and 4.
Make a motion of no action.
A motion from Brashears for no action.
Second.
Second from Trammell. Call for the vote.
Trammell.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Brashears.
Yes.
All right, committee reports, budget personnel,
12th.
Ordinance and insurance. That'll be the 29th, I think is when the next one is.
Okay.
Can you do it before then? Friday is the 29th, correct?
Let me look at that date. Maybe it's the 26th. Let me check that.
26 is ours.
Yes. Is the street?
Yes.
We will see what we can do on that, Charles.
Because I will not be here on the 29th.
We'll look at the calendar.
Thank you.
To be determined.
Yep, TBD. I have no unforeseeable business. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I have a motion from Brashears and a second from Smith. Okay, call for the vote.
Smith.
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Brashears.
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Okay, call to order the Pryor Public Works. Item 2, approve the minutes of the July 15th, 2025 meeting.
Motion.
I have a motion from Choya,
Second.
second from Brashears. You call for the vote.
Lamar.
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Brashears.
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Approve claims for purchase orders for the Pryor Public Works Authority through August 5th, 2025.
Motion.
Motion from Brashears,
Second.
second from Choya. You call for the vote.
Shropshire.
Yes.
Brashears.
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I
Second.
have a motion from Charles,
Five
second from
motions.
Brashears. You call for the vote.
Brashears.
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes.